Hello, happy Thanksgiving Eve. A little different this year, but it's still Thanksgiving Eve, so I imagine many of you are doing a lot of prep today. There's the sirens, noon on Wednesday sirens. So whatever you have planned for this week, whether you're traveling or not, I hope that you are enjoying yourself and looking forward to the holiday weekend. I'm also looking forward to the weekend. We're having a very quiet Thanksgiving at home, just the three of us, my husband and kiddo. We're actually cooking a full meal for the first time. We've never hosted because we're always traveling on the holiday. So this is a new one for us too. So hopefully we're all in a place of peace with whatever the holiday is going to bring. And I'm coming here today to talk about one of the four obstacles that stand in our way between us and our self-care. So hello. If you are watching live, please say so. Say hello. Looking forward to hearing from you. And if you're watching on replay, say hello, #replay, so I can find you and respond to you. Happy Thanksgiving week. I see a couple of you hopping on there, so just gonna give you a second. And I want to recap what we talked about last week a little bit. Last week we talked about those four obstacles, and then we focused on one of them, which was fear. So I want to just recap those obstacles again. So again, no particular order, but four basic categories that I found over the years. These different obstacles fall into these four different categories, and they are no order. Fear of pain or memory of a traumatic event. That's what we discussed last week. Three others are scarcity versus abundance mindset or lack of money resources. So these are all kind of the same concept. The two others are lack of time and lack of energy. Today, because it is Thanksgiving week here in the States, I know that some of you watching are not part of the United States, so this holiday is not a big deal to you, but we are talking everywhere I look right now as people are talking about gratitude. It's a little cliche, but it's very important to practice gratitude. So I thought this would be a great week to discuss the abundance mindset. So let's delve into this concept a little bit here. Abundance versus scarcity. So I'm certainly not going to be able to convince you or help you shift your mindset if you have been living in a mindset of scarcity. This little 20-minute exercise that we're doing today is not probably going to change you. There are people that are in therapy for years to switch their mindset over from scarcity to abundance. So my intention is not to fix anything or to change anything in you. It's just to kind of get you to think about what scarcity is and what abundance is and how you might be able to start moving towards embracing the concept of abundance. So let's talk about what abundance isn't, okay? So abundance is not scarcity. Well, what is scarcity? Scarcity is a fear-based mindset. It is a fixed mindset. Some of you might have seen some of the articles floating around about fixed versus growth mindset. A fixed mindset is absolutely one that is based in scarcity. So we think there's not enough resources to go around. There's not enough money. There's not enough time. There's not enough love. The world seems dark. It seems closed in. It's very restrictive. People that are practicing a fixed or scarcity mindset are not open to new possibilities. It's very either or for them. It's either this way or that way, and they don't kind of go outside of the box to think that it could actually be both. So when we are stuck in a fixed or scarcity mindset, we're not adaptable, we're not flexible, we're not curious, we're not inspired. So what's the opposite of that then? The opposite is abundance. And I want to be clear, when I'm talking about abundance, I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about finances. That's one thing that you can focus on within the abundance mindset. But what I'm talking about today is how you can practice abundance as sort of a verb, and how you can see the world differently in order to bring you more love, prosperity, well-being into your life. So if the fixed mindset, the scarcity mindset is fear-based, I would say that the abundance mindset is curiosity-based or gratitude-based, or both, right? So when we practice abundance, we know that the world is huge. The world is humongous with infinite possibilities, right? So there's opportunities around every corner. Hey, Rebecca, great to see you, especially since I didn't get to see you in class the other day, so great to have you here. So when we're practicing this active way of being, this active practice of abundance, we're inspired. We know that if we just get a little creative, or if we get a little more adaptable or a little more flexible, things could change direction very quickly, and that we can really harness or embrace all of the possibilities out there. So when we are trying to shift from scarcity to abundance, there might be a lot of kind of mental blocks in the way. So I've been doing a little research this week about different perspectives on abundance mindset, and I've noticed some common threads through all of these different articles that I've been reading and stuff. And almost everything that I've been reading has been talking about, number one, setting an intention, and number two, practicing gratitude. So that's kind of two different things, but related, right? So the setting the intention part is probably the easiest part, because with that you can say, okay, well, I've been in this fixed mindset, I've been closed off, I haven't seen the light, I've been hiding in the dark. Instead, I'm going to change my intention, and I'm going to focus on trying to open my mind to other possibilities. So the intention part is not really the active part. It's the first step and the easiest step. You can just say, okay, I'm going to have the intention today of noticing more things around me that are good than bad. I mean, that's just a really basic generic example, right? But the intention is pretty important, because if you don't set the intention, you just launch right into your day without even thinking about it. So a good time to set your intention is when you first wake up, instead of immediately looking at your phone, checking social media, or checking your email, whatever. Just think to yourself, what do I want this day to be? So just a really quick little 2-minute thought process is setting an intention. So that's the first part that I noticed sort of every single person talking about abundance mentioned. The other thing, of course, was gratitude. So, it's really easy to say, oh, I'm grateful for all the things around me, but are you really focusing on what they are? What is it that you're grateful for, and why are you grateful for it? So really starting to notice the meat of the matter. And the cool thing about scarcity versus abundance is whatever you think is, right? So if you start to notice all of the things around you that are really good, that number is going to multiply. It's going to just keep going. It's infinite. In the same way, if you start to notice all the things around you that are terrible, that number will also multiply, right? The world has a lot of bad stuff and a lot of good stuff. So we can make what we notice, we can make those numbers greater or less depending on what our focus is. So one of my favorite quotes, I actually had to look up who it was by, because I couldn't remember. It's a Henry Ford quote, interestingly, so businessman. One of my favorite quotes is, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. It's so simple, but it's true, right? And when you start to think about it, you're like, oh yeah, it's so obvious, but it's for a reason. If you think you can't do something, obviously it's not going to happen. It will become impossible because you're not even going to try it. If you don't try it, it doesn't happen, right? It's obvious. If you think you can do something, you might stumble along the way, you might have some falls, get back up, whatever. You might not do it instantly, but eventually you will do it because you think you can. So we have complete control over our reality. The hard part is realizing that and harnessing that. So my idea today is to do a little embodiment exercise that will hopefully just get your mind focusing on some things that you're grateful for. Specifically, since this is a wellness sort of movement body forum, specifically within your body. So we're all coming at this from different places. Some of us are more able-bodied than others. Some people have experienced injury or restriction or trauma that has led to not being able to move, like you want to move. So everyone is coming from different places, but we all have some things in our body that are working well, that feel good. We all have some movement ability. So my intention today is to help you focus on that and hopefully at least plant the seeds of gratitude/abundance in your life. So what I want you to do is, I have my table set up back there. You can see, I'm going to do this on the table, or you could, most people probably don't have a table, so I was intending you to use like your bed or your couch, or you can simply do this on the floor, or you can just watch and follow along, whatever you want to do. There's not going to be a lot of movement here, but we will use a Yamuna ball if you have one. So if you have a pearl, gold, or silver Yamana ball, or if you just have a black ball pair, you could do this with the 2 black balls too. What we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves in a pose that opens the chest, opens, so it makes more access for the lungs, more access for the heart, opens up the solar plexus. And if you study yoga or any other movement practice that is sort of energy based, you will see that any sort of like back bend pose or opening the ribs pose is meant to cultivate gratitude, abundance, and it's meant to sort of open you up to these concepts. So we're going to use that pose, and then we're going to do a little like mental exercise to try to fill our bodies with these different pieces of gratitude. So I'm going to go over here and get on the table. Like I said, you can do this on the floor. The reason I'm going to show it on the table is because I want to show you a way that you can get a little bit deeper with while using the airspace. But it's totally fine to do this on the floor, or like I said, you can just follow along if you want. I'm going to see what happens if I turn out the overhead light. If you can still see. It's a little darker, but this way I'm not staring up at these garish bright lights. So I want you to take your ball, if you have one. If you don't have a ball at all, you could just put a pillow between your shoulder blades, or even like a yoga block or something would work. So what you want to do is place whatever your prop is right between your shoulder blades. And from there, I just want you to come down. You can support your head as you start to arch out over the ball or the object. So what you're doing is you're stretching your spine. You're conforming your spine to the object. Now, if this is too intense and you need a pillow under your head, by all means, grab a pillow or even another ball to support your head. So I'll use a pillow just to show it like that. So this could be a slightly intense position, especially if you've never done this before, but hopefully it feels good. So you can feel your ribs opening up. So you feel that kind of opening at the solar plexus, at the diaphragm there, and then you can feel the chest widening. So you might, if you're really tight in this area, you might have some strain or some stretch here that hopefully feels good, but it might be a little bit intense. It might be like a hurt so good kind of a feeling. So make sure that you're comfortable to stay here for about 5 minutes. So if you need more support for the head, that's fine. Now, if you want to keep your eyes open, that's fine. If you want to close your eyes, that's fine too. Whatever helps you kind of tune in to your body. And the first thing I want you to do is set that intention. So we talked about how that was kind of the easiest part of the process, right? So set your intention here. You're already physically set up to receive good things into our front, into our our soul house right here. So as you're lying here, your intention is something like, you can use your own words, of course, but something like, I am open to noticing the good things in my life. So not even to the point yet of receiving them. We already have a lot of good things in our life. So let's just first set the intention of noticing the things in our lives, in our bodies, that are wonderful things, and allowing that to settle into our body. From there, you can start to set the intention to receive more good things. Once you start to notice the things, as we talked about, that multiply, so receiving more good things. And then noticing those things in yourself and in others. So that's your intention. And I want you to sit with that intention for a minute. Take a couple of breaths, big inhales. And now I want you to tune into the sensations in your body. At any time, if you start to feel like you need more support for the head, you can place something more under your neck, or you can roll forward and place the object under your neck. So whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Am I still in the frame? Okay, good. Making sure you can still see. All right. So here you are. Now I want you to start to notice what in your body feels good. So many of us, especially in this forum where we're all about trying to find body sustainability, etc., we tend to focus a lot on the things that aren't working in our bodies, or the things that hurt, or where we feel pain or restriction. I'm totally guilty of this myself. Today I want to have a different focus. I want to focus instead on what is feeling good. So what feels warm or cozy or comfortable? What feels like it's resting really comfortably on the surface, or What feels like it has a lot of space in it, or maybe something that was hurting before that's now feeling better. So just really going through your body, noticing the stuff that feels good. If you come across something that feels bad, it's fine, you can notice it, let it go. Right now we're focusing just on what feels good. Once you've identified some basic areas that are feeling good, now I want you to kind of broaden your scope a little bit and start thinking about movement that you can do. So we all have things that we can't do, right? Like I can't climb I'm not a rock climber, I can't climb a mountain. Maybe I could if I wanted to. That's just not my jam. But we all have things that maybe we can't do, but instead I want you to focus on what you can do. And that might be something really small, like, well, I stood up and got out of bed today. So that's a movement, right? Or I can walk down the stairs. Or, maybe it's something like I can write. Maybe you love to write and you have the capability of either typing or writing. So just thinking to yourself, what are some movements I can do? Make a little mental list. They can be big things, small things. Come up with as many as you can. You don't have to memorize them. Just start flowing with it. Start brainstorming all the movements that you can do. Then, after you've got kind of a flow going and you're thinking of all of these wonderful things that you can do, start to think about, well, what do you really excel at? What are some movements that you can do that you're great at? So maybe, you have run a marathon and you're so proud of that. It's a huge accomplishment. So that's something that you excel at. Or, maybe you're really good at cooking. Well, you have to be able to move to cook, right? So that's something that you excel at. So just focusing on these strengths that you have, things that you feel that you're really adept at. And get yourself a list of that going in your mind. And remember that the whole time you're still breathing. Ball is either still between the shoulder blades or at the neck, whatever's most comfortable for you. Either way, you have this sort of vulnerability, this opening up of your front. And then finally, I want you to think about all of the movement that you can do that just feels good, that you just love to do. So it might not be something that you're great at. It might be something that you're not very good at. Like, I'm not very good at sports, but I'm starting to think that I want to maybe get into tennis. So it's something that's fun, but I'm not that great at it. That's okay, because this has nothing to do with, with your, how other people are seeing you, how other people perceive you. This is just about what you like. So, the whole thing about dance like no one's watching, right? So maybe you don't think you're a great dancer, but you love to dance. So I want you to think about what it feels like to dance, or what it feels like to run or climb, or whatever it is. So the 4 things: first, noticing what parts of your body feel good, then thinking about movements that you're capable of, then thinking about movements that you're really good at, and then thinking about movements that just feel good, that just feel right. And sit with those feelings for a bit. So you don't have to keep this codified in your mind like a certain list or anything. Just let all of these thoughts swirl around in your mind. Notice how your body's responding to them. And take a couple more deep breaths here. And after a couple more breaths, I want you to once again revisit your intention. That intention of accepting, being open to new possibilities, both in your movement, in your body, and in your life. Also the intention of noticing those things, of being aware of them, broadening your vision and being able to see the whole space around you, not just what's right in front of you. So whole space rather than tunnel vision. And then with that intention, being able to notice this within yourself and within the loved ones around you. After you've been here for a bit, you can remove the ball either from the shoulder blades or the neck. Give yourself a moment on your back to appreciate gravity, to give thanks to gravity for holding you down so that you're not floating away. Give thanks to the earth beneath you for supporting you, to the sky above you for nourishing you. and to all the people in your life that love you and that you love. And when you're ready, you can just kind of roll to one side. I encourage you to just kind of roll through fetal position rather than trying to crunch your way up. Slowly yield into the surface. Allow yourself to come back to a seated or standing position. Hello. And see how you feel. So my hope is that from this very simple, basic exercise, I mean, I'm certainly not an abundance expert. I'm just figuring it all out as I go along, just like all of you. But my hope is that you now feel a little more fulfilled, a little more whole, a little more capable, excited, inspired. I see a couple comments here. I want to scroll down. Oh, hello, Lauren. Great to see you. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. It was lovely for me too. I'm feeling really fairly blissful right now. But yeah, it's inspiration, curiosity, the understanding that possibility is everywhere. And we can choose the things that we harness. So we can harness the bad stuff, we can harness the good stuff. I don't need to go back and repeat all of it. You get the idea. But I'm really hoping that you can start to incorporate these little, I think that was probably about 5 minutes. You could do it in just 1 minute if that's all you had. But just starting to incorporate this concept into your life. So hopefully I've nudged you that way, given you a little pat on the back and given you some confidence to, the sky's the limit. So the confidence to look to the sky and to look to the light and not be restricted or buried under all the other stuff that you could get buried under. So you have the power, I have the power, we all have the power. So I'm going to leave you with that today. Happy Thanksgiving. It's certainly a different one this year, but I am so very thankful to all of you for being part of this community, for lifting me up. I hope that I lift you up as well. If you have anything that you want to share, you can do it in the comments or you can make a post in the group. I would love to hear what you feel gratitude toward, what in your body you feel grateful for, and in your life. So feel free to share those in the comments or, like I said, make a separate post. And hopefully you have a really warm, family-filled weekend, whether it's virtual or in real life. I hope that you get to be with the ones that you love, and I want to send my love to you. So happy Thanksgiving. Go find your abundance, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Bye.